already got language this early.
I said freaking for the record.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that because it didn't sound like it
Well,
sounded more severe.
I had this great idea for because my brother was this amazing 5 a.m. warrior.
Jeff.
No.
Mm.
And probably, I don't know. I thought, yeah, that's great. Let's do what you did for so long to get healthy and I don't know how you did it. This is stupid.
Well, to speak to that. So and real quick, I had a friend be like, "Hey, let's read this book." And this is like 12 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I hated reading. I was not a morning person. I was not anything. Um, and the book's called Miracle Morning, and it's just basically taking the best practices of people's success and like lumping them all together. So visualization, affirmations, um, journaling, reading, and exercise. And so I started doing this, and it was only 10-minute chunks a day.
Yeah.
Um, except for exercise, you did more. But anyways, it totally transformed my mornings to where I became a morning person, and I love it. And so, I mean, there's times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But honestly, if I try sleeping in, it sucks, and I
Oh,
feel
for
like I
sure.
wasted time, kind of thing. So
Yeah, no, I get it. And I did that for a little while with you back then too when I was going through a really hard time and it was nice. Like
clearly, it didn't work.
what
You're
what
not a
crap.
morning person.
No, I don't know. It's funny because when I first started training, um, I would go work out at 6 in the morning, and
Yeah.
before CrossFit, like because I had this mindset that I had to be in shape to start CrossFit. So I was like, okay, I'll join the gym for a couple months beforehand, which was stupid. Like you go at any level you were at. Like right when I walked into CrossFit gym, I was like, oh, I wasted well, not wasted 3 months, but or 2 months, but I was like, I could have started this a long time ago.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I really like training in the morning, and then it switched to where I trained it late at night, and I liked that more, and I liked sleeping in. Like the only time I really like getting up early in the morning, like love, is going mountain biking. Like
I knew it.
a couple hour drive, headed to Tahoe, sun's coming up, pumped up music, got a Celsius,
Hmm.
that I get stoked for.
Yeah.
But anything else, I'm like, nope. But I think it's funny. This kind of speaks to actually, real quick, everyone, welcome back to Countdown Podcast.
There we go. I'm your co-host Drew.
Leighton, and we're brothers, and we're
Yeah, we
and
did it.
we're
We said
and
it.
we're and we're awake. No, we're not. I'm not. But anyway, back to what I was saying that because we're talking about some rehab and recovery. Um, as we're going to be training really hard, we also need to rest and recover really hard, really well. Um, but I think it's funny when you're talking about that book that you're reading is how people are like, oh, you want to have success? Never sleep. It's like never, go to bed late working and then get up at 2 in the morning. And
Yeah,
it's like,
like grind,
dude,
grind, grind.
yeah. And it's like, and don't get me wrong, I grind like really hard, but I'm trying to prioritize sleep because you're missing out on muscle growth. You're missing out on muscles resting so they're ready the next day to get working. And
Right.
um, people are like, you should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever gotten 8 hours of sleep in my life, like, unless I was sick or something. But um,
Right.
or I'll sleep really long and then I wake up tired because I slept for too long.
Hmm.
So
Oh, totally.
my sleep's been weird and garbage for years. Always waking up really tired.
hence why you're drinking your drink you're drinking now.
Amen, brother.
No, I mean, well, two things. One, yeah, that was the one thing I didn't like about that book. It's called The Miracle Morning. I do promote it. Um, but yeah, the sleep portion of it, I mean, I think it wasn't, hazardous in its advice, but it's like, grind, grind, grind. And there's some truth in there maybe, but like I agree with you as we've, come along in our journey. It's like, oh, I need to rest, man, especially as I'm getting older and things of that nature. And it kind of like, helps me because I'm like, um, to know that I'm hurting myself if I don't sleep. I'm not helping my journey. Like, so you work out all day, or whatever, you eat well, you are doing all these key things, but then you only sleep for a few hours. You're setting yourself back. I mean,
Yeah.
like, grow on that, kind of thing. So, but I mean, all that said, that's not easy to just plan out the time and do. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then it also, you got these influencers that are like, I woke up at 2 in the morning. It's kind of become a joke. It's like, well, I woke up at 1 in the morning, and it's like you're setting an example of you're setting guilt for people to just have guilt for sleeping, for resting, for recovering, for taking time for yourself to be able to reset so you can be ready to go the next day.
Hmm.
Um, and that's not fair. Like, you need time for yourself. Like, we work hard all day, so like shut off your brain, um, process everything that you're going through.
Well, on that note, I've got advice. And this is coming from an old dude.
The wisdom is coming, guys.
It's exuding right now.
Here
A
it
5
is.
a.m. exusion. That
This
we're
is. I don't want it to be.
don't
Go
don't be
ahead.
an influencer. There we go.
There you go.
Boom. Knowledge dropped. Don't be an influencer.
You
No,
just
and I
changed my
mean,
life.
yeah,
I'm gonna end
boom.
recording. No, I'm not trying to be an influencer.
Uh, but no, I mean, this is, I feel like we're kind of jumping all around here, but this is a great thing in speaking to, like, there's a billion things online. There's a billion, like, hey, follow this, do that. I mean, from my little experiences with influencers, it's like they're doing anything to create content. So they're going to do the shock value, the wow value, all that stuff like that. So truly, should you take advice from them on your health and wellness and all that stuff? And I want to be careful because maybe there are some great influencers. I don't know enough to.
There's
I don't even
not.
know what an influencer was until a couple months ago because I'm old and I don't care.
It must be nice.
Shut
Being
up.
old,
Yeah,
not as
oh,
young and
oh,
exuberant as me. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
no, but no, I mean, I think this whatever we're gonna name this, whether it be like speaking to rest, rehab, or staying motivated when you're, you know not firing on all cylinders. The pains and the strains and frustrations are going to be part of our journey. And
Yeah.
both you and I are in a place where we're just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired, my body hurts, um, for various reasons. Mine's because I'm old and have old injuries. Yours because you have new injuries and young. Um, but many quit during this time.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, but um, what if we included that into our process? Like I was thinking about this morning. Again, lots of thoughts early on in the morning.
Five
But it's
minutes. The last 5 minutes.
hey, you know what, man? When your brain's firing, it's firing. Um, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that your gun sounded almost like your air horn. Um, better than a foghorn, I guess. But
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
but what if, like, our whole thing? So like right now, our biggest one is Yeti Gathering in
Mm.
2026. Listen to an old episode. It's a gnarly venture. But what if I was thinking about it this morning? What if we were to add rehab into it? What if we were
Yeah.
to add, like, even plan rest into it, and it's kind of like, well, duh, but it's something that we don't do. Like
Oh
our
yeah.
we live in a culture and society that's like go 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 go. But what if we were to add rehab into the process, mentally, physically, even spiritually? What would it look like? And I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
No, you're totally fine. It's funny because we're totally like, you wonder like, well, what does sleep do for you, like just spiritually? And um, it's like just keeping your mind silent so that God can talk to you. Like even dreams, whatever you can dream, so you can process some of the things you went through that day, um, and then just taking a break, man, like from the world, because the world's a lot right now. Well, the world's a lot in general, but um, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I like the topic of this to implement it into our long term goal of Yeti Countdown, because we haven't been the best at this, like um, at at the rest and rehab. So
it's not
and
shown
and
well.
and we're in rehab right now, like recovery, uh, in a way with this guy and with what you got going on. Um, so
Yeah, where are
yeah,
you at physically?
Lakeport, California.
Not what I was
Um,
meaning, but that's good on you. You
sorry,
nailed it.
sorry,
I mean,
sorry. It's the humor of our father.
is considered a dad joke, which I think dads have them.
Yep, grandpa joke. Um, no, I actually had a checkup yesterday for my collarbone, and they said it's healing perfectly. X-rays look perfect. The incision itself, shadows in there, looks perfect. Which I was like, good, because I mean, it still kind of freaks me out when I see it. I'm like, oh, I got
Yeah,
a freaking axe to my
hacksaw.
collarbone. Yeah, and even Haley's like, this looks scarier than I thought it was gonna look.
Speaking of dad jokes, I
Oh
don't I
gosh.
don't know if you remember this, but like he would always be like, "Look at my belly button. That's
Yeah.
where I got shot by an arrow," right? And then he had that incision on his abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
Have did he have pancreatitis or something? I don't know, but he had something there where, and like so whenever he had that, he was just like, "Yeah, I got
Yep.
tomahawked," or so, something
Yes.
like that. So,
Yes.
oh,
We
dad,
actually revisited that uh not that long ago. Dad and I did. It's like he still got it. At least we know it's still him. But
oh
anyways,
mercy.
well, and they said, because I had to take off my hoodie to show them this. They're like, "Wow, yeah, your range of motion is great." And her biggest thing is like, "How far can you raise your arms?" And
How
um,
far can you raise your arms at
bam,
5 a.m.? Whoa, damn, dude,
I'm so
there was no stall, there was no
no
lag.
clicking, didn't hurt, nothing. I mean, I
Oh,
felt like the incision a little bit, but
okay, so you are,
perfect.
and I do have a rhythm here, or a rhythm. We got a direction maybe. Um, I was saying the questions for you, but so physically you are rehabbing from a broken collarbone you sustained in Moab, which was one of our countdowns. The broken collarbone was not the countdown. The biking Moab was, just clarity.
Self mutilation.
Um,
Sorry.
no, no. So you had surgery, and your healing date or your back to somewhat normal date is in September, right?
Yeah, actually, she did tell me 2 months now. So
Okay, that's
August.
progress.
Yeah, I was like, yes, all right, we saved. There's 30 days of
Are
riding.
you
Sweet.
one of those crazy guys who are just like, oh, how can I get it down to July?
Um, no. I mean, I will admit I am going mountain biking on Monday, but scaled. Because I mean, the biggest thing they were worried about is if I fall again. And I was like, okay, well, I can do like basic riding. Like I don't have to hit jumps. I don't have to hit crazy tech. And it's like, and if anything, I'm like, no, I'll walk. I don't have a pride issue with that. So I'm going to test it out on Monday, see how it goes. But other than that, I'm not pushing it. So
I'm glad
it's
you're
not like
testing. I'm
I'm
glad you're
not going to
testing it
start
out.
mountain biking regularly. It's just
I,
we're going to be in Tahoe, and I'm like I'm going riding.
yeah, I
Like
was gonna
I
say I'm glad you're testing it out on like something small like
yeah
Tahoe. Ooh, it's
yeah
really small and mild.
dude, it's such a mild trail. Like Tahoe's has everything. They have epic and they have less epic, and I'm going for slightly less epic. I'll be smart about it. Like I I'm not gonna. Oh, I can ride down this.
Well, I mean, I've had 6 or 7 breaks, 5 or 6, I'm not sure. Um, and like you think I'd learn the first time, but after each break, you kind of walk away learning things about like, yeah, I don't need to push it, or yeah, this is worth walking, or whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah,
this being your first one, A, congratulations, and B, um, yeah, you kind of change your approach, and I'd argue that it's not necessarily like a timidity, um, or fear, or doubting of yourself. It's kind of like a reality check, and we need to push through our realities on some things for sure. But yeah,
yeah. Well, and the last couple days, I've been mentally having a rough time. Like when I'm not in the woods or mountain biking, like because I don't have to be mountain biking. It's just more fun and better when I am. I can go on a hike, but it's like, dude, I need to get out in nature and away from. I even live in a small town. Like it's not like I live in the big city, but it's like I need to get away from everything.
yeah, small town
And
has its own things you need to get away from.
yeah, seriously, like and but another progress report with this is they said I could lift 5 pounds now.
Cool.
Even
Hey,
though I've
that's
been
progress.
like catching the kids every once in a while, jumping, at the ocean and stuff. But um, yeah, so no, I'm happy because I was really curious because every once in a while this will hurt, and I'm like, I hope it's doing okay. So, and before segue into your progress,
I'm not done with
I
you, boy.
okay. Well, before I forget, I want to mention, um, boy, I want to mention the James Stone challenge that we
Mm-hmm.
did this week. Of last week, we had the amazing James Stone on as our first guest, and it
My
was
buddy, James
yeah,
Stone.
your buddy James Stone, our buddy James Stone, and and
Listen to the last episode.
yeah, it was such a good episode, and but we've been having we're gonna have our guests give us a challenge at the end for the week, and James's challenge was to do for both of us to do 25 burpees a day, and every time we come home, we tell every person in the home that we love them, even if it's a stranger. Robbery, Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Hey,
Uh,
while you're stealing my stuff, I love you, man.
yeah. Oh, sometimes they need to hear that, because
I mean,
they've
there
never been
might be a
told.
reason why they're robbing in the first place.
Exactly. So, okay, yeah, that at first I was trying to make a joke, and then I was like, actually, we should tell our enemies we love them, but kill them with kindness.
So this coffee mug is probably not the best.
What does it say? You're pixelated right now.
Oh, it says caffeine and hate. It's one of my favorite mugs because it's metal, and so it's
Yeah.
like cool for camping and stuff like that. And
Microwaving.
I don't know. Yeah, that's fun. Uh, I got it in 2020.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think I had a lot of hate going on during that time, and in general. Anyways, we don't have to talk about me right now, but it kind
That's
of
hilarious.
it it kind of actually segues into my next question to you because we're talking about physically, mentally, and spiritually. Like,
Hmm.
so where are you at? We talked about where you're at physically in your
Mm.
journey. So, and you just mentioned a little bit of where you're at mentally. You had a rough day yesterday or day before, whichever, or
This
maybe
week.
the week. Yeah. And so you went walking and stuff like that. So I was going to ask, like, and you don't have to get into specifics, but like mentally, you had some great news. on your journey, your physical journey of your break and stuff like that, and that's part of this journey for you.
Hmm.
But it can still be a downer, or is a downer, um, as you transition your mind from I've had all these plans, yada yada. Now they're modified quite a bit. Where are you at mentally?
I'm doing better than I was. Because like I've mentioned in like past episodes, I was really bummed out because I had so many summer mountain bike plans. Like I wasn't going to be training because it was like, dude, every day after work with the sun being going down at 9 p.m., I was going to go mountain biking and
Mm-hmm.
go stand up paddleboarding with the family. Um, and once it settled in, when them saying like 4 months, I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, oh, September, which don't get me wrong, like September's still hot.
Yeah.
um, and now that I think about it, like that heat goes into October, but still, I was like, dude, we were about to go hit North Star Bike Park like in a month, in 3 weeks. So I was really like struggling with that, and I felt bad because Haley was really looking forward to going to the bike park and stuff, but she was great and in support, and like yeah, we she adapting, she learns from what we talk about too, and she's like, that's cool, we'll make it fun either way. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, fine. But anyway, so fast forward to now, I'm doing okay. I'm just tired. I'm looking forward to this break in the woods next week.
Hmm.
Like,
There's
yeah, I'll
just
be on.
something about that.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. There's just something about getting into the woods
Yeah,
for
and
the
like,
mentality.
I'm not going on vacation, but we have a work conference in Reno, so it's like right outside Tahoe. So I'm like, I'm going to Tahoe before and after, like it's so something this trip actually means a lot to me, so I'm mentally really excited for it because every year at this time we have this employee conference. And 2 years ago, when my life flipped upside down, I haven't mentioned this on the podcast, but like I went camping full time for a whole summer, like living out of my car, and it was a yeah,
Some call it homeless, but
homeless.
I'm sorry.
Like no, it's hilarious. And
And now,
yeah, well, and headed over there to Tahoe because that 2 years ago we had it in Tahoe. I was like, all right, this is a new start to the rest of my life. And like
mm,
the sun was this was I left at like 5 in the morning to head out to Tahoe, and sun's coming up, and I just had great music playing, getting me stoked, um and so I've had that on my mind this week too. Of
mm.
just like, dude, this is going on year 3, and like thinking about the progress I've made from when I went camping full time, um,
No,
and if you
that's
if you can do it, like camp full time, go. It was amazing. Like I cowboy camped at no tent.
right.
Anyway,
No, I was gonna say like I remember talking to you because we kind of I think that's kind of the start of really us bonding.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
checking in.
because we have quite the age gap between us, and I've been you know out of the house for a long time when you were growing up. So I mean, our relationship wasn't like the tightest as you know a typical brothers would be in the same closer to the same age, and like so it's kind of this cool time of just being there for each other. But like honestly, like when you were talking about like yeah, I live at this state park, or I pulled off the side of the road and just slept in my car, and your car was dinky, dude. And no, I said stinky. No, I'm sure that too. Um, and yeah, no, I mean it definitely was very small.
Yeah,
And
and I'm tall.
no, but I love that. I love that for mentality's sake. Like I love that you had found like a place that you really connected with and connected with yourself with in the woods in Tahoe, and you revisit that place. Like and to even just see, like you said, gauging where you were from where you're at now is night and day difference. And no, that's it's awesome, you know.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
And that flows into the spirituality of things too. I know you're a spiritual person, and you out there alone. And there's times I know that you were struggling spiritually. Just as anybody that would go through such things, um, and to see you now, where that's a normal rhythm of your life, and I think the blessings from it
Yeah.
is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually, it's funny too because I've been thinking about like there are definitely times I look back and I'm like, how on earth did I survive all that? like, like,
Seriously,
like,
sometimes in the thick of it, I'm like, boy.
yeah, like, hope I hear from him the next morning. But like, I'm out camping, no tent in bear country, and it's just like, yeah, having a great time. But like, I broke my codependency. I know it took me a long time to realize that I broke my codependency because my therapist wanted me to work on it for years. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll work on it.
What's codependency?
You're right, and then I was like, dude, I'm fine being by myself, and even now, like, I'm okay. Like, there's sometimes it's really weird, but there's sometimes where I'm like, I kind of want to just. It's not that I don't want to be around people or family or my family. It's just like sometimes I just want to be in the quiet for a minute
Hmm.
to myself. Just think, pray, take things in. Um,
How do you
I was like,
recharge?
uh, sometimes taking a beat. Um,
Taking a
I
what?
don't a beat, like taking a beat, like taking a minute to myself.
Oh man, it's this kid talk. I
No, this
take
is old
take a
talk,
beat.
bro. Are you kidding me? Anyway, no, that is
I'm
not.
old.
Yeah, and
Gotta take a beat, yo.
gosh, never saying that again. Anyways, but I gotta take a minute for
Oh,
myself.
I understand that.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, what's a minute? Anyways, exercising, um, yeah, I don't know. That's actually a really good question because that I want to think about. You know, g- Maybe adding to the rest in rehab is like how
Yeah.
do
I mean,
because it's like it's not identified. It's not like, yeah, this is how I
yeah.
recharge.
I mean,
Like,
there might be more, I don't know, but the main two are either you got to get away to recharge,
mhm.
or you're recharged by being around people. And usually those that are, I might be speaking out of my depth here, but usually those that are optimist or not optimist, but are extroverted.
Mhm.
Sorry, brain fart.
Yeah,
Are ones who recharge by being around a lot of people or a person or whatever. And while introverts are, people I got to step away.
totally.
But then again, it can fluctuate. So, anyways,
Well, and I've switched like
yeah,
growing up.
that's
I
I've
used
seen
to
that.
I used to have to be like around people. Like I
That's
thrived
because you were
around
an only
people.
child for the most part. I mean,
For
we were all
well,
out of the house by the time you were.
yeah, growing up because you guys are all way older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, even when I was living up in Portland, I was like, oh, I want to go, not go party, but like be at a place with cool people and like and hanging out. And then going through a lot of traumatic stuff and life flipping upside down a couple times. It was like I don't want to be around anybody,
Mm-hmm.
like, or not even by myself, but the partner I was with at the time. It's like I want to be around them or something like that.
Yeah.
But I still had that codependency. And now it's like it's a choice to be around people instead of a requirement for mental health. So that's really cool. It's not a vice anymore. It's like, oh, I'm choosing to be around these people because I like them.
Yeah.
Um, versus, yeah, I have to be around people because I can't be by myself.
Right.
Being out in the woods, I had a lot of time to think and be by myself and be in the quiet and because I didn't have headphones on and have music going. It was just chilling.
Hmm.
It's just like, all right, cool.
That's awesome. And you bring up good points on like that you can be around people. But I think one thing that helped you too is you got around good people.
Yeah. Oh, for
You
sure.
know,
Good
your
community. Yeah.
your yeah, your community changed to that they were more healthy
Hmm.
mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. maybe not even physically, but just spiritually and mentally, they were healthier, and you had a place to kind of just be
Yeah.
and rest in, um, which I think is key for sure.
Yeah, that's true because I did have the spiritual side of like community group, church, people, great, wonderful, loving people that I trust with everything. And then I don't have it as much these days, but I had my CrossFit community,
Yeah.
my class, my gym class, to where there was
I'm
times
sorry.
even when I sorry, real quick, even when I was
Yeah.
injured, I was like, I need to go to the gym and just be around these people, like,
Yeah.
and I just hang out and encourage while people or made fun of while people worked out.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I mean, yeah. And like, that's a great point of like finding your tribe, so to speak, finding your people, finding your community, and then just journeying together with it. I love the CrossFit bond, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, I think there's people I know that they grind and grind and grind, but they're in gyms by themselves, or like, I mean, there's a million people around, but they're by themselves, so they don't have that camaraderie. They don't have that close bond that you create in other areas, and so they're still alone. So I mean, they're grinding physically, but mentally or emotionally or spiritually, they're alone, and they may be getting fit, but they're, you know, off kilter because
yeah,
we're body, spirit, mind, kind of thing. So when those are not all together, I feel like you've been able to strengthen all three of those.
yeah.
Um, and it's a journey. I mean, like we talk about, it's a journey, and we'll have good days, bad days, but the more we build our foundation physically, the better we are. The more we build our foundation mentally and spiritually, the better we are. For when those days are going to be bad, or we're rehabbing or whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah, well, I mentioned when I mentioned that I don't really have like my CrossFit community as much. Um, that got replaced with like also just having a great and supportive partner.
mhm.
Like, I mentioned her, but I don't dive a lot into it. But like having Haley, like she's my best friend. We have a ton of fun, a crazy amount of support, someone I can support, and she loves working out and CrossFit and mountain biking, and it's like, wow, I have a best friend that I just love, and we just laugh all day. Like we're
Mhm.
not, and like arguments are unavoidable, but like you can yell or you can talk through it. Like, you can like have the mindset. This is a little bit of a tangent. I'm sorry. You can have a mindset of like, hey, we both want to not be upset. So let's figure out, talk through to where we can get there to where we're not upset.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but so that having community at home, like having a good support system at home, and everyone's relationship might not be perfect, but you can have a countdown of working towards how to
Dude, I
make it perfect at home.
I love that. I was just thinking that, where it's just like include that in your journey.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of people that start off working out to better their lives, and sometimes this naturally will seep into every other area of your life, family life and stuff like that. But what if you were intentional? What if you were like, hey, life at home's rough. How can I continue to work on myself, but also work on the unit,
Yeah,
work on
yeah.
the family, with those relationships that might have been strained or broken, or just life. I mean, my wife and I, we've been married 20 years.
Damn.
And, um, well, I mean, this day and age, that's kind of a high
I
mark, right?
know it is. There's
And, um, and so, there's times where it's just like, oh my gosh, like we, we've gotten comfortable in these areas over here and this and that, or we're missing each other, or like her, she gained a whole bunch of education, and which is great, but it kind of hurts, not hurts the relationship, but it's a strain because it's like she's now at a different level. Could be the
hmm
next, could be whatever the case may be, that I don't understand. I don't understand her academic life, or now what she's doing with it and stuff like that. And so I mean, there's a strain, so you have to kind of work harder,
well,
to connect
yeah.
sometimes.
And I would say just real fast, like maybe she needs you to be that, not in the her education world to where she can step away from it and have fun at home, or maybe you're the more fun side instead of the serious side, whatever. But um before I forget, I want to say, like, if you're whoever's listening, like, if you're having a countdown focused on you to get healthy, perfect. That there's no selfishness in that. I've seen a lot online where it's like, it's working on yourself, getting in shape. That's selfless. Like, you're it's not selfish. So, like, get yourself right first and then work on your family, as we talk about countdowns of working on your family. So,
I,
um,
j- I just got off airplane yesterday, and every time they do the safety, demo, it's always I've heard it where it's put the mask on yourself first before
yeah.
assisting others. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that thing because it's like the reason they do that is because um, yeah, if you can't breathe, how are you going to help others? I mean, the same thing in the medical world. When I worked on an ambulance, it was like safety for yourself first before you help others. Is your scene safe? Because if you're not safe, how can you help others?
Yeah,
So
totally.
same mentality, like, take care of yourself, not in a selfish way first, but more in sense of like, if you're not healthy, how much health can you give others?
Yeah.
It's like people that give advice, and it's like, you're giving me advice on something you suck at. Like,
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, you don't even know.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. So
oh my gosh. Like, um, okay, are you done talking about me?
yeah, I'm ready to talk about me.
Thank you. Gosh.
Jeez, talking about
Well, it,
myself.
well, and you rudely interrupted me a little while ago
Mm,
on the James Stone challenge of
mm-hmm.
burpees. Like, I wanted to say, like, you did great. On your burpees looked great. Like, I was actually kind of pissed off. I was like, "Ugh, his mobility looks really good." Like,
Ooh.
because there's some, with me being tall and long legs, like, sometimes I have to land on my toes and I should land on the plants of my feet. And I'm like, dude, you're zooming. Like, because we filmed ourselves doing burpees, so we can make a little video. And
Well, no, it was
dude,
it was
dude,
also
yours is looking good.
accountability.
Well,
We
that
did
too.
do it.
That too. Wow. Sorry.
Come on,
I'm a
man.
mess, dude. I'm falling apart.
Jeez.
Oh
I gotta
gosh. All
edit
right.
that out.
No.
Shove it. Um, well, no, and I appreciate that because there's plenty of things that. This was an amazing week, by the way. This was an amazing week for me.
Good.
Um,
I'm like crying over here from about my
yeah,
week. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, exactly. No, no, it was good. Like, and so it's nice to have that affirmation of my burpees looking good and stuff like that. So I've stayed away from burpees. I've stayed away from squats, and I stay away from anything that makes my foot like in a what is it, the plantar position or the launch position? It's when you're bending your toes to like when you're pushing up or jumping.
Oh yeah.
Um, because of injuries. Like, so I've got a bad back. My knees burn more often than not, regardless of what I'm doing, like, even biking. Um, and I've got a nerve in my foot that when activated, man, I can't walk on it. That's why you'll see me on a boot or in a boot. And so this challenge is like, oh crap, like, um, burpees, it's hard on the back and it's
Yeah.
hard on the foot. Um, and it can be hard on the knees too, because you're kind of squatting too. And so this week it's just like, oh my gosh, like, A, I'm traveling for work, so I'm gone all week, and B, um, this is just it, I stay away from these areas, and I know my physical, side hurts from that, right? I limit myself because I don't do those are core
Hmm.
areas, like the hips and the, you know whatnot. Are you there? Are you
Yeah,
okay?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about me,
uh,
dude.
I'm always worried about you, bro.
Ugh.
um but yeah, so but what was cool was like, um doing things right, like trying to do exercise right. I really dug into, like, well, is part of it because my form is bad and stuff like that. I picked up a book called Rebuilding Milo. It's by a sports medicine doctor. Um, uh, what is he? I forget. I'm looking at the book right now, but he does a lot of. I think he's a chiropractor.
Is it Squat University
Yeah,
guy? Yeah,
it's a
okay.
Squat University
I
guy.
have no idea his name, but Squat University.
Yeah, Dr. Aaron Horshig. I
Sorry.
I claim horseshig on that. Anyways, sorry. I'm sorry, Aaron. That's bad. If you ever heard that, I appreciate you, Aaron, because in his book he really digs into like proper form, and
Yeah,
it's like I
totally.
love it too because it's like if you're hurting here, do this test. Just see where you're at, and it's not like necessarily like a hey self-diagnose. You don't need a doctor or anything like that. He actually promotes going to a doctor if needs be. But it helped me kind of go, okay, the form should be this way. I should do this, blah 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 blah. If you're, balls or feet, if you're feeling this, you're probably doing this. And so I've been doing squats this week too, because I'm in another challenge where you do 50 push-ups, 60 for me, 68 squats, um, 50 of something in the core, and then 25 burpees a
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
So all this past week I've been doing that, and it's been brutal and rough, and I'm scared. Like that's one thing too. Like I'm scared to hurt myself, scared to hurt my knees or my back for sure, and set me back. And so that's why I wouldn't do them. So it's been a great week of overcoming like the physical barriers, um, because I got mobility issues because I don't do these things. So I've been stretching a lot more, but also the mental barriers of not doing these things out of fear or doubt or whatever. And it's been hurting. I do have to have it sounds so old. I do have to have assist with my squat, so I've got the band, um, to help me with that.
Well,
But
and you're not real quick. You're not like assisting like there's no weakness in that. You're actually doing Spanish squats, which is a method of knee health to
mhm,
help you with healing your knees. So it's not I just don't want you to be like, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
old. I have to have a sit." It's like, "No, you don't. It's just a different form of a squat." Like,
I appreciate that. There was one time where I had the band on, and it was this anchor point, this corner of a shelf, right?
uh-huh.
And I was having a bad day to where it's like I needed a little bit more help. So I was holding the top while squatting. And I've never been to a strip club, but I felt like a stripper on a pole, like just
Yeah.
holding that pole and doing squat. I mean, nothing wrong with that, I guess. But yeah, I just had this mental picture of like this is weird.
Did you feel pretty? Did you
I felt like if my current job doesn't work out, I can
Perfect.
transfer. Yeah.
I'll support you. I'll throw money at you.
Yeah, which leads to spirituality. Where am I at
From
spiritually?
stripper to spirituality.
Hey, that'd be a good book title. Um, no, I mean, I had a great week too because, so when I travel for work, um, my workouts change because I'm dependent on a gym. I do take a band with me because, if the gym sucks, I've got, anchors and different things with that band to be able to do it. But then also my community changes, my support changes, my rehab changes. All those things change, right?
Hmm.
By the way, I did go mountain biking while in Denver, which was a blast. Um, I did go to the
Jealous.
Yeti Cycles headquarters. Spent an hour there, which was too short of time. Talking to them, seeing their facility, seeing where they put together our bikes. Um, it was a great place to be, and they're
Hmm.
so chill.
I'm glad you had a fun time. I'm so
Yeah,
happy for
I
you.
mean, yeah, I laughed at my brother who could. I don't know what. Never mind.
I'm
Um,
also really mad because I thought for sure I would go to Yeti Cycles headquarters before you because my friends lived in Denver. They don't anymore, but like I was gonna go visit them and I was like, I'm gonna go see Yeti before Jordis.
is this a competition?
Everything. We're competing with each other against each other.
Well, it's kind of a brotherly love thing.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, biking there was great. I died because,
Oh, good.
yeah, the altitude, man, just really gets to me. And I don't know if I've got old lungs or just need an inhaler or need to condition that better, but it did give me pause to go, okay, how can I boost this up, especially with our countdown next year riding in Colorado,
Colorado.
you know. Um, but yeah, so I do have work trips where it just sucks. Like the gym sucks, or don't have one, or I don't have time for it, or I'm exhausted, or I'm sick, or I'm whatever the case may be. But I found some good inspiration. I That clip you shared with James and I on the guy
Mm,
who man, I can't do a shout out because I don't remember his name, but uh,
I could look
you
real
know,
quick, but go ahead.
on addiction, overcoming addiction, and then starting a physical journey, and including the spiritual aspects of AA, and everything like that was just super encouraging. And it led me also to another guy. I have him written down somewhere. Who from addiction to starting gyms and community aspects of people like-minded who are on a journey together, kind of a thing. It was just super inspiring. It's like I want to start a gym, kind of a
Right.
thing,
That's
um,
great.
for that community, for that camaraderie, and not for typical gyms today where you just walk in, you're not known, or you're competing, or for equipment, or your d bags, or whatever the case may be, your muscle heads, as opposed to coming in and being like, oh man, you're part of this community and loved, and there are spiritual components, and there are mental overcomings that you do together and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
it was a great trip. And
That's
then on
awesome, man.
top of like having success with squats, success with burpees, like I'm seeing my body change, in the mirror and stuff like that. And it's like, oh wow, like I'm only doing 4 exercises right now a day. Well, and then a cardio of some sort.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been like, and I'm pushing past barriers mentally. Um, so yeah, it was a good week.
Good, man. I'm really glad. And like actually, like I feel like there's some times where I feel like one of us will have a bad week, so the other person can like speak truth into that bad week, and
Mhm.
and we go back and forth, and sometimes we both have really great weeks, and sometimes we both have crappy weeks. But regardless, it's a journey that we have to get through. It's important to remember like today sucked. Tomorrow doesn't have to,
Yeah.
like next week doesn't have to suck. This isn't the bad times aren't forever. There's just
Right.
something you have to get through so that the good times can come in. Like I
Let the
speak
good
that to a lot of
times
times.
roll.
Roll. Real
Let
quick,
the good.
that video you're talking about, I believe it pronounces it Adam Gunton. It's a TED
Okay.
talk, and
Yeah.
it
Look it
speaks
up.
to a lot
It's
of really
good.
good stuff. I can
It'll.
add it to the description of the video.
Yeah.
Make it easy for you guys. But and I will give credit. Haley gave that to
Yeah.
me to send to you guys, and you guys both watch it. I have not watched it yet, even
Are you
though
serious?
she's like,
Oh
you
man,
really need to watch it.
it's
Yeah.
so good. I had my wife who's in addiction medicine. I had her
Mm.
watch it. And,
Oh, sweet, cool. All
um,
right. Well, I'm just out of the loop.
you're lazy.
I'm Leighton or lazy.
Well, yeah. Okay, so
um,
the other one was the other YouTube one was Finding Sobriety on a Mountaintop by Scott Strode, Strode. Um, and that was just a really good one too. And like, I mean, for people that are listening that are like, well, I'm not addicted to anything, or whatnot. You don't
lucky.
have to be. You don't have. Did you say lucky, or did you say?
I said lucky, like that they're
Oh,
not addicted to
I was
anything.
I was like, either you said lucky or f you. I'm not sure which one.
Both.
I like it that you almost spit your drink out. Um, but like, I mean, we all have addictive personalities. We all have things that hang ups and all that stuff like that. And it might not be as extreme as these two gentlemen who have a beautiful, amazing stories of overcoming so much. But we all could and do take away from those things. So I highly recommend just looking those up, um, because it does speak of the journey. It does speak of community and the value of and the needing of. So
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to watch it, and you guys watch it too. Um, I used to love watching TED Talks. Like, I used to do that all the time, and like before Reels became a thing, that take up your time watching
Yeah.
videos on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. So, um, I kind of want to get back into that because I learned a lot. And um, yeah. Oh, and my bike is in rehab this week too, getting
Are you getting
fixed.
your rear brake fixed finally?
Yep.
All right.
And so I can stop fully.
Okay,
And-
dude. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
So the guy I went mountain biking with in Colorado, he's a
uh,
coworker,
mm,
and he's in his 70s, and he will out climb anybody. I mean, he's a
one of
mountain
those mountain
goat.
goat.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's got a pretty decent bike now, but his bike before it was it was, I won't mention names because it doesn't matter, but it's just it's an older bike, right? And so it reminded me. So it's very upright. It's a 29er, no rake on the fork. So I'm like, oh, this. He let me borrow it. So like blessings to him for just letting me borrow a bike instead of having to rent one. Um, but I was scared, and it was janky. Like I I ran a wrench through it before using it just because I don't know this bike,
Hmm.
and the front wheel was all loose, and then the rear wheel was loose too, but I could never get it tight. And so the whole time I'm riding, it's like doing this, like it just felt like I was fishtailing everywhere because it's my loosey
Sick.
goosey rear. Um, and I was just like, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna join Leighton with a broken collarbone or something like
Oh,
that. And
dude, I'd be
I
so
mean, we
mad.
weren't really into really gnarly stuff. I mean, if anything, we climbed a lot, but
Nice, good for
still,
you.
it's like janky as all ever. Oh, and it didn't have a dropper. I hate it when bikes don't have dropper posts where the seat goes up and down per,
With
what
a
if you're
button.
going down or up hill. And so like I put it in middle position
You're right.
because it
Play it
was a
safe.
lot of rolling hills up and down, but man, that started to hurt my back just because it's out of position
Totally.
when
Yeah.
climbing and stuff like that. So, um,
I'm
but
proud
yeah,
of you with your knees because, like,
yeah,
sitting too low climbing, that's
I was
that's
starting
really
to feel
rough
that
too.
too.
And we're very spoiled with our modern mountain bikes. And like, I did start mountain biking like right before dropper posts came out. But for people who don't mountain bike, it's like literally on the handlebar, you hit a button, and with hydraulics, sitting down, your seat will go down, and then going up, your seat will go up, which is important for when you go downhill. You want your seat down because if
Out of the
you
way.
start hitting bumps, like your seat can hit your rear and knock you over handlebars. But so you want your seat down when you're going downhill. When you're climbing, you want it up so you can get optimal pedal power. Um, so, anyways, like kudos to you, but that's impressive, really impressive. Because I think didn't you do like 16 miles or something like that.
Yeah, 16 miles, two
Do you
hours.
do you remember the elevation climb?
It was over
Five
1,000.
thousand. Oh,
Yeah. Well, knowing this dude, it would have been if I didn't hold him back.
but yeah. While you're looking that up, like it's been weird not having my bike here. Like I love looking at my bike and being like, yeah, let's go ride. And um, so
1,200 feet elevation.
nice, dude. That's a good climb. Um,
Yeah.
that's almost what
But
I
that's
mean. I mean,
that's in
well, real quick,
Colorado too.
yeah. Just to oh yeah, with your lungs too. Like, um, also, dude, like you just did half of what the Yeti challenge is going to be. In a day. Like you did 16 miles at 1,200 feet of climbing, and we're going to be doing 22 to 30 miles at like 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So that's awesome. Like,
You know what's funny? Thank you.
uh,
You know what's funny on that note is I'm in a challenge right now, like I was saying, just with squats, burpees, push-ups, and core. But then there's a cardio side of it, and so they're like, if you're walking with a weighted vest, it's you get credit for a mile or um, 1.5 of whatever. So like if you walk a mile, you get a mile and a half credit, whatever. If you walk or run without it, it's normal miles. And then, but if you bike, it's a half mile for every mile. Does that make
oh,
sense?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
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 And I was like, can I push back on this a little bit? I was like, if I'm on my trainer, that makes sense. Like I can coast, I can, it's smooth and stuff like that. But I showed them stats of my recent mountain biking, and I was like, dude, I was grinding. Like, um, climbing uphill, you're exhausted, all stuff like that. And then I was like, but then when you go downhill, it's like a solid squat. You're out of the saddle, you're
Yeah.
solid squat. You may be coasting, but you're moving your upper body, and they were just like, there was in I mean, whatever, but they were just like, well, we can't gauge, like, if you're just coasting, that's not really grinding. And I wanted to reply, have you ever mountain biked before? Like
Oh
really
yeah.
mountain bike before?
Yeah.
Like you're not
Some.
just going downhill. Like if you look at these racers or anybody that has like POV camera going down mountain biking, they're going downhill. Listen to their breathing. They're
Mhm.
they're exhausted. I mean, that's a
It's
full on
exhausting.
workout, even if you're going
Mhm.
downhill. Anyways, I
Oh
had to
yeah,
put my 2 cents in there.
for
It kind of
sure.
made me mad,
You
but
could get mad.
whatever. I
I'm mad for you. Um, like
whatever. I just got to work.
there's a difference between climbing on pavement and going down on pavement and climbing on rocks over roots, dirt, loose dirt,
Yeah.
mud, all that. And you're using a lot of hip strength and core
Hmm.
strength and like keeping everything
Forearms. I
balanced,
mean,
forearms, everything. It's full freaking body. And the downhill
yeah.
people, oh, it's just downhill. I'm like, okay, when you're doing it right, when you're, you know, the
When you're actually going
terminology.
down a hill of a trail is way different.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
It's gnarly.
you know what? In my heart, it counts as a full
I appreciate it.
2 miles per.
No, no, I'm counting the half mile for the competition, but I'm
Yes.
keeping the full mileage going. This is what I did accomplish.
Be like, I'm still better than you. I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
that's my ultimate goal is just to be better than everybody else. So,
Well, you're
yeah,
getting there.
nailed it. Nailed it. Hey,
Nailed
dude, we're
it.
coming up on an hour, bro.
I know. I was gonna say like and I wanted to complain real quick. um,
I mean, it hasn't stopped. Go continue on. Sorry.
no, it's so funny. Sometimes when you would be up working out at 5 a.m., if I don't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, at 5:03, I get bzz, 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 and it's like, "Oh, just did this set. Oh, dude, hit a PR. Oh, dude," and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm up."
Wait, no, I never. I don't even know what a PR is. So
Personal record. Yeah, you
no,
hit it. Okay.
I never text that.
Yes, you did. You'd be like, "Dude, I did this." And
Okay,
okay,
I gotta see.
regardless,
I want to see
I'm not
proof.
complaining about you being like, "I did said that you got a PR." I'm complaining about, well, I
You
was
know,
up at 5 a.m. with you
I'm gonna
as
text
your
now and just be like,
cheerleader.
dude, I'm awesome. Dude, I'm rad. Like, I'm gonna just text that from my bed.
You know what? You should. Because you are awesome. You should speak truth to yourself. Because I'm sick and tired of having to remind you of how cool you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's annoying. I'm just kidding.
Thank you that you're my support. You're like a goat, an emotional support goat. You know what
Climbing
those are,
goat
right?
or greatest of all
No,
time goat?
no, an actual goat. Eh, that kind of goat.
Because I eat everything.
Calming goats. You know what a calming goat is, right?
A what?
Calming goat. Oh,
I
child. Oh,
sweet child
hit.
of mine.
Yeah, no, I mean influencer. Why don't you go get influence on goats? Jeez.
Dude,
No,
I'm
they have calming
so
goats. Like if there's like horses or bulls or
oh,
or cows that are like aggro, they throw in a calming goat and he's just do. I don't know this
okay.
psychology
I
behind it, but
haven't
it
heard the
works.
term, but I've seen it before. But
The
I
calming
thought you were
goat.
gonna say a calming bowl when you first said bowl. It's like, okay, that would
Calming
make me a
bull.
little uneasy, but
You're kind of a
um,
calming
see,
bull
my mind is just
in a
focused
china
on
closet.
the goat of greatest of all time, goat.
I mean, if you want to be a greatest of all time to your family, that's rad. Please be that.
Okay, I'll do it.
Please be that to your brother.
Now that you mention it, I'll definitely do it. But
Okay,
um,
so real quick, what do we got going in the future?
well, we have a countdown, a long-term countdown for 2026. Yeti Gathering in Colorado, Yeti Cycles, and That's all I can think about right now.
No, I just next episode.
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know our next episode.
Yeah, we don't like. Sometimes we have this planned, and sometimes we're like, "Hey, what are we working on this week that we could talk about
Yeah,
together
it's
that
it's
we're
like we
learning?"
have it's like we have lives that we got to navigate around.
I don't. I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You just crapped out. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
My brother.
No, we got some guests coming up.
Yeah.
We won't mention them yet, but yeah, I like the guest aspects, especially
Yeah.
being challenged. So
Yeah. No, this will be really good. Yeah, we got guests coming up. We'll probably have some on-site writing episodes at some point this summer. Yeah, so like we got a lot down the gambit, a lot of stuff that we're excited to share with you guys. Um, Excited for you guys to tune in and get more involved with us. And uh, yeah, this is gonna be good. We're just getting started here, so we got a lot
yeah,
lot coming, lot down the can.
and feel free to reach out. Feel free to do jazz hands like my brother is doing right
I
now.
I said
Are
a lot
those
down the
jazz
can.
hands? I think you need to go visit a cannon real quick to see the emotions of what a cannon does. If you're listening to this episode, it might be kind of interesting, but just think of.
That's dude. Sometimes I have to think about like people not watching us. I'm like,
Well, I thought about that too. I was showing off the James Stone T-shirt,
oh
"Work
yeah,
harder than your demons," but I didn't say "work harder than your demons," and I was
mm,
I was like, "Oh crap, Apple doesn't do the video for some weird reason." But
idiot.
anyways, yeah, my video is gonna be interesting. This is my office and my gym
Mm.
and my garage and everything else, and like it's the quietest place in my house, and I didn't want to wake up the family with my 5 a.m. episode.
I am a perfect practicer of consistency, so I have the same background as I always have. I'm just kidding.
Don't know where you're going with that.
Well, not surprised. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So, well,
Uh,
thanks for joining us. Feel free
yeah,
to chime in. We'd love to hear about your journey, where you're going, where you've been, what you're doing. Thanks for making us a part of your, I don't know, commute or workout. Some people listen to us while we work out, and it's like, oh, maybe we should be like, oh, dude, go, keep on grinding, yeah. If they're
do
working out to us.
do another one. Do another set.
Oh, you're one of those
Yeah.
psychos.
Um. Yeah, thanks for joining us for our little 5 a.m. special. We might do some more. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a way bigger bitch this morning than than I was. So
How can that possibly happen? I'm sorry.
how can you get any worse?
Yeah. Well, good. Hey, man. I mean, congratulations. I want to congratulate you on you got a cuss word in here.
Thank you. You know what's funny? I thought you were going to congratulate me on my collarbone health, and then
Nope.
so any nope. So I
Mm-mm.
wanted to I honestly want to congratulate you on your squats. That
Oh,
is
thank you.
such a huge milestone. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, it's simple. I know how much you struggled with fear for that for years of like not wanting to make your knees worse. And I also want to congratulate myself for sending you the video on squat health. So so you're
I
welcome.
mean, I appreciate that. Thank you for, Squat University.
Yes,
Um,
yes, sir. Another
and this
success story for them.
and this is continuation of why community is so good. Find a workout
Boom.
partner, even if it's just one
Get a
one
coach.
person.
Spend the money
Well,
on a coach.
okay, but let me. We're going way
On
over time here,
form.
but yeah, okay, yeah. But I'm talking about like community for the aspect of like encouragement. I mean, coaches encourage, but there's not a relationship per se, unless you know them, know them. I mean,
You can
you're
start
different
dating
with
your
money.
coach. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we're done here. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, no, just
Yeah,
finish your
where's your
thought real quick, and
cannon?
then finish your thought, and then we'll go.
No, I mean just like you gave me that YouTube video that helped me with
Oh yeah.
or finding this doctor that helped with my squats and stuff like that so I can overcome that. I mean, we've talked about different people that have helped us in our journey, but we
Hmm.
we feed each other things based off our relationship, based off our friendship, and that help each other. So I mean, there's just another plug for community and
Yes,
tell me
and
don't do this alone. if you don't
And
have a
encouragement on community is you don't have to be all buff and strong and like I'm the best around your gym buddies. Like be vulnerable. Like I don't even think of it as vulnerability, but I'm sure some do. But like be like, hey, I'm struggling in this
be
area.
real.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Be real. You'd be like, what do you think? And get advice. Take advice. Like there are people at the gym be like, hey, can I just give you a pointer real quick? Be like, heck yeah, dude. Like so
Yeah.
lower that pride down to where you don't know everything, and then that will make you better.
Well, then a perfect example is us. I mean, we have camaraderie just because we're brothers and have a history together. But also, there's times where Leighton will be like, "Hey, do this" or something like that. I'm like, "You
F
jerk!"
you.
Like, yeah, like get off me. Oh, he is right. Oh, okay.
Wow.
But
I said it in like episode 2 that you were right. In episode 13, you said I'm right.
wow, I
Thank you,
love
sir.
how that like you're remembering these things. So,
Yep.
anyways,
Yep.
wow, we're
Okay. Anyways, you guys have a great week. We will see you next week.
yep.
And love you, brother. Glad we're here. The sun is up. Let's get today. Let's nail it.